So we're going to talk about the polarity of water molecule. Water molecule is an inorganic compound because it doesn't have carbon and it consists of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom.
Water is a polar molecule, but what makes it polar? Oxygen has high tendency to accept atom, which makes it electronegative. Thus, oxygen will always keep its electron to its nucleus than the hydrogen that is bonded to. This will also create a strong bond. The electronegativity of oxygen will make the hydrogen slightly positive. So, the water molecule will be attracted to each other since they have different charges. What makes the polarity of water so important for our body? The polarity of water makes it a universal solvent for other polarized molecules such as sugar and amino acid, and also solid substances that are ionic such as salt.
Water has a high capacity of heat, which is 4.2 kJ per kilogram per degree Celsius, which means that 4.2 kJ of heat energy required to raise temperature of 1 kg of water by 1 degree Celsius. Water has the highest specific heat of capacity of any liquid. This is because hydrogen bonds between the water molecules must be broken first to enable the water molecules to vibrate more and increase the temperature. Water absorbs a lot of heat with a small rise in temperature. Since life is based on water, and the temperature of water rises and falls slowly, living organisms are better able to maintain their normal internal temperature and are protected from rapid temperature changes. What is the importance of regulating body temperature to organisms? If our body becomes too hot or too cold, our body will undergo the process called homeostasis. You must know that living organisms can be functioned only if their internal conditions are kept within a specific range. This is because enzymes in body cells must have the correct temperature to be able to catalyze chemical reactions.
Hi, I'm Shaman and I'm going to explain to you about adhesive and cohesive forces. As for cohesive and adhesive force of water, let's take a look at this simple experiment. As you can see, the yellow and blue liquid moves via towel into the empty beaker. And this is because water molecules are attached to each other through a cohesive force. At the same time, water molecules are also attached to other surface through adhesive force or adhesion. Both forces produce the capillary action which allows water to enter and move along narrow spaces, such as in the xylem tube.
Carbohydrates are organic compound which consists of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen with a ratio of 1, 2 and 1. So there are 3 types of carbohydrate, which is monosaccharide, disaccharide, and polysaccharide. What are those? Polysaccharide consists of tiny monosaccharide. This tiny monosaccharide, when we bond it together, it's going to be a polysaccharide. But there are 3 types of monosaccharide, which is glucose, fructose, and galactose. Monosaccharide is the simplest form of carbohydrate, which is also the monomer for carbohydrate. Apple is an example of fructose. It tastes sweet and it is also crystallized because these are the characteristics of monosaccharide. Orange also contains a lot of fructose in it, but it tastes sour because it's acid. Did you know that galactose actually came from a Greek word galak, which means milk? And the source of galactose is milk. That's where the word comes from, and that's where we get our galactose. The properties of monosaccharide also include the ability to dissolve with water, even milk, sugar, fruits, everything. So I brought some vegetables for you here. Vegetables aren't only the source for fiber or vitamins, it's also a source for glucose.
Disaccharides are molecules that are formed when 2 simple sugar molecules, monosaccharides, combine through condensation. There will be 3 monosaccharides that we will learn in this video. So the first monosaccharides are glucose. Glucose plus glucose is equal to maltose through condensation. And the second one is glucose plus fructose is equals to sucrose. And the last monosaccharides that we learn in this video is galactose. Galactose plus glucose is equal to lactose plus water. The saccharides can also be broken down to their monosaccharides units through hydrolysis and the addition of one water molecules. It is the same equation, but it is just in reverse. So, maltose plus water through hydrolysis will become glucose plus glucose. Sucrose plus water will become glucose plus fructose, and lactose plus water will become glucose plus galactose. In these saccharides, maltose and lactose are reduced in sugar, except for sucrose. This is because it does not reduce copper to sulfate solution. If sucrose is hydrolyzed into units of monosaccharides earlier, the Benedict's test will show a positive result. This means it doesn't reduce any sugar. Remembering this equation might be difficult, so this is the acronym that I prepared for you. Great-grandmother got free spot, gear, game level. So, you can take the first letter of each word and you get the equation. Great-grandmother. Glucose plus glucose is equal to maltose. Glucose plus fructose is equal to sucrose. And gear game level is equals to glucose plus galactose is equal to lactose. And I hope this helps.
Polysaccharides are sugar polymers consisting of monosaccharides monomers, means that polysaccharide is a large molecule made of many smaller monosaccharides. Polysaccharides are formed when monosaccharides molecules join together through the process of condensation. Starch, cellulose, and glycogen are types of polysaccharide formed from the condensation. Starch is the main storage of polysaccharides in plants, made up of a very large number of glucose molecules. Cellulose is the type of carbohydrate that makes up the cell wall of plants. Glycogen is the main storage of polysaccharides found in muscle cells and animal liver cells. Polysaccharides are not soluble in water due to their large molecular size, are not sweet, and can be crystallized. So, what's the importance of carbohydrate in cells? Carbohydrates act as a source of energy. If we reduce carbohydrate in our diet, it can lead to a lack of energy during exercise and early fatigue. As a food reserve, for example, glycogen in animal cells and starch in plant cells. As a support structure, for example, cellulose in the plant cell wall.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching our video.